Hello, this is Marcus again, and I am on the main motorway between Lisbon and Porto, heading north from Lisbon. Unfortunately, we are not going to Porto today, which I'd love to do, and that will be another test, another day in this car. But in fact, we're going to drive to Fatima. We won't actually stay in Fatima, we'll drive to Fatima and come back home. Fatima is famous in Portugal and the world, especially among Catholics, because it is a pilgrimage site. So I left my home in Moita 47 kilometers ago, and it's currently 8 o'clock in the morning, and we have an average consumption of 20.1 kilowatt hours. Now, according to Windy, as you can see here, there is not much wind today, but on my route so far we've had a bit of fog, so the car's been pushing fog along, so that it's been dense and it's been colder. It's been 16 degrees, and also just before we got to Lisbon we did get a little bit of rain, so I've had a bit of fog, a bit of rain, but there's no wind today, and currently consumption is 20.4 kilowatt hours per 100. I've come up to 50 kilometers now since my house, and I started with 80% of the battery. So from 80% of the battery, we have actually used 17% of the battery for 50 kilometers. So I like to say every 25 kilometers is 10%. So for 50 kilometers, that should be 20%. But my simple maths is slightly overestimated it, and we've actually used 17% for 50 kilometers instead of 20%. So as you can see there, in 20 kilometers, there's an electric charging point, and I actually want to try that because I've never been on this motorway, the A1, in this car before. So that'd be something to try. So a better route planner did say we need 54% to get to Fatima, and we need 48% to come back. So that's 102%. I definitely have to charge because my car only started with 80% of the charge. So my motto is to charge often and early. So I'm going to charge here. Hopefully there won't be another electric vehicle here. I don't think so. It's Sunday morning and there's not much traffic. As you can see, we're getting fog ahead, so that's probably not helping consumption. My fog lights on. So the last trip I did was to Obidos, and there we had very good consumption. Even though it was very windy and bad weather, we had a consumption of around 18.5 kilowatt hours per 100 kilometers. Today currently we're above that, but I believe it's because of the fog and because it's 16 degrees Celsius currently. We're doing 20.3 kilowatt hours per 100 kilometers. I'm going to leave a link below of my trip to Obidos. It's quite an interesting trip. So why am I going to Fatima today and coming back? So Fatima is about 140 kilometers from my house, so it should take about 1.5 hours to get there. I want to see what consumption is like in this car when you go up a very steep hill at 120 kilometers an hour. And if you look here on Google Earth, see there's a mountainous region here, and on this section of the motorway just before we get to Fatima we have to pass somewhere called Mind. And this part of the motorway, it's a very steep incline, and if we start here, this is where I'm going to start recording from, it's about 90 meters, but it goes up quite quickly to around 380 meters. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start recording when it's 90 meters and then record at the top when it's 380 meters, and we're going to see what the difference is. And I'm also going to record the distance. We can see what the difference is of the battery state of charge to see how much we use going up that hill. So we're going to be burning through the battery, and hopefully we'll be able to keep to a constant 120 kilometers an hour going up the hill without any effect on the power. Also, what I want to do on this trip is to see my consumption on motorways so I can better plan routes within this car. 2 kilometers, we've got the electric charging point where you can see that sign there, so hopefully no one's charging on it, and I will charge the car. So currently the battery is 56%, so I'm going to charge it to 80%. Can you see the petrol station sign and electric car charging sign? That looks nice. So let's just go off the motorway here. So I don't actually have to stop here to get to Fatima, it's just I want to stop here because of my motto: charge early and often. Charger signs on the floor. So I'm going to reverse into it here, What I don't understand is why we have to reverse in this way to this charging station. It's absolutely ridiculous, because now I'm against the flow of traffic, which is quite dangerous when you've got people coming off the motorway. So I've started charging. It's saying we've got 20 minutes left, so that's from 55%, currently at 58%, and we're charging to 80%, minutes left to go. But I just wanted to show you this here. So here's the exit from the motorway, and you come along here, and this is a one-way street, so you have to come along here like this. And as you can see, all of the entrances are at an angle, so it's easy to drive into. The problem is, because of this car and because of the short charging cable, I have to actually reverse in. So that means I have to go against the flow of traffic and reversing like this. Now, if this was just a straight parking area and not one at an angle like that, then it would be so much easier. But there's so many places in Portugal where they put chargers with these parking spaces at an angle, and it's really difficult for me to reverse into them, because they're designed to go into front ways. They're not designed to be reversed into. So it's a little bit dangerous for me here now when I will leave, for me to go against the flow of traffic. But because this has got such a good turning circle, this car, I don't think it's going to be an issue. I just turned the car completely. So I've got less than 5 minutes left. We're at 76%. So I'm going to stick you back on the window, and I'm going to unplug when it gets to 80%. So as you can see, the turning circle, I just pull out like that, so it's not a huge issue. But it would be nice if these parking spaces were not at an angle. Currently we're at 20.9 kilowatt hours per 100 kilometers. So obviously I didn't need to charge there if I was going to Fatima. If I was going to stay in Fatima, I could charge it a destination charger, you know, spend some time in Fatima and then come home, and I wouldn't have to charge on the way back home. But I don't think stopping for 20 minutes is such a problem. There's another advantage with charging often and early, and that is that, for example, because I charged at this first charger here, then I don't have to worry about getting the next charger. So for example, if the next charger had somebody charging at it and I hadn't charged here and I got to the next charger, so I might have to wait for the next person. That would take me longer to charge because I'd have to include the waiting time. But as this one was free, I charged there and I don't have to worry about the next one. But for example, if this one here had somebody charging there, I wouldn't wait, I'd go to the next one. So charging early and often allows me to choose which charger I want to charge at. Then that avoids me getting into a situation of having to wait at a charger because I've run the battery down to 20%, 10%, and I really have to charge at that charging point. I mean, there's another consideration to make here. Because I charged early there, perhaps further ahead, perhaps there's a problem with the charger and you get there with 10%, and if there's a problem with the charger, you arrive there with 10%, then that could be a big issue. So stats, I'm just going to keep giving you stats. We've currently done 84 kilometers since my home, and the average consumption has been 20.8 kilowatt hours per 100 kilometers. I think it's because of the curfew at 1 o'clock in the afternoon, but really there is nobody on this road. Currently it's 8:50 in the morning, the temperature's gone down to 16.5 degrees Celsius. Because there's hardly anyone on this road, I am really keeping to a real 120 kilometers an hour. So that's interesting. Just to let you know, so we've got 40 kilometers to our destination. So soon, hopefully, we'll be able to go up the mountain to Min. Now, our better route planner did say we need 54% to get to Fatima, and we've got 35 kilometers to go. In the distance there, I actually think you can see those mountains. So that's going to be where we're going to do the test. So now we've actually done 117 kilometers. So at 1,000 meters, I'm going to click start. We're going downhill slightly now, but in a minute we're going to be going up that big hill you can see in the distance. And we're doing 120 kilometers an hour, and that's a GPS 120 kilometers an hour. Here's the turn into the A23. We're going down to 2 lanes. At this bridge, I'm going to press start on my Garmin. We're at 63%, 63%, 63%. Starting Garmin. Garmin has started. Now we're going up this steep hill here. We're at 120 kilometers GPS. We are going downhill slightly here, but we're just about to start going uphill. 62%. So we're going downhill slightly, so 62%. But we're using power. Now we're going to start going uphill. (120 kilometers an hour, real GPS. It's going back into 3 lanes. So 62% still of battery. We're still doing 122 kilometers an hour. We're still doing 120 kilometers an hour. GPS, 122 it's saying here. 123 it's saying here. That's 120 kilometers an hour GPS. Well, there is a diesel car overtaking us, or petrol car. 61% of battery now, 61% of battery. So we're at the top. Good, stop that. So 61% of battery, and we're at the top because here we're at 60% of the battery. We're going uphill again to 400 meters. So I've started the Garmin again there, and we're at 60% of the battery. How much does this part here eat into battery? So going uphill, it's quite steep here. Still at 60% battery, still doing 120 kilometers an hour GPS speed. So that's 123 on this car here. 59% of the battery. We're still going up, no loss in power whatsoever, no loss in power. (59% of the battery still. We're still going uphill. We're still going uphill. It's getting cloudy, as you can see. 58% of the battery. We're still going uphill. No loss in power. Still 120 kilometers an hour. Still going uphill. They've taken the bus. Now we're starting to go downhill, so I'm stopping it. 57% of the battery now, and we're going downhill. We've actually got the car in cruise control and comfort mode. So I can't remember, did we start on 62% of the battery? So to do this hilly part here, we used up 5% of the battery to go up that hill. Since we started 100, and we've been going for 130 kilometers now, it's gone up to 21.8 kilowatt hours per 100 kilometers. So that hill has definitely had an effect on consumption. Let's just see since charge. So since the last charging stop, which was 59 kilometers away, actually our consumption has been 23.2 kilowatt hours per 100 kilometers. So from the last charging stop, we've only done 61 kilometers, but we've actually used 25% of the battery. Just to let you know, near Fatima, it's actually colder here. It's actually 15 degrees Celsius. Yeah, so Fatima is 2.4 kilometers away. So let's look at battery stats. So Better Route Planner said we'd get here using 54% of the battery. €8 15? What a rip-off. So battery's at 53%. So we started with, because we've added 25% battery, that's like 105%. So actually, if we add 5% to that, let me do maths in the head while I'm trying to concentrate. We got here with 52% of the battery, and a Better Route Planner said we'd get here with 54% of the battery. So again, a Better Route Planner is absolutely spot on, more or less 2% difference. Oh, there's a Tesla Model 3 over there. They managed to come to Fatima as well, so that's good. Yeah, so we're going to go back home now. We've got 142 kilometers to go to my house. The GOM is saying 164 kilometers, So in fact, we do have enough range, but as you know me, I'm a bit of a worrier and I don't want to get range anxiety, and I actually want to try the other charging point at a different station on the other side of the road. So we're going to charge, as my charging often and early mantra goes, we're going to charge at the next charging point. There's a Portuguese black toilet paper, so Renova is a Portuguese toilet paper brand, and they were the first company to invent black toilet paper. So I think they're just over here somewhere. We are still going over, so that must be the factory there of Renova. So if you want good quality Portuguese toilet paper, buy the Renova black brand, and you can even get black toilet paper. I think it's here. So battery is 47%, it's 47% the battery, and we're going downhill. But battery is still at 47% of the battery to 46% of the battery. We're still going downhill. We're not recuperating any energy at the moment, and we're not using any energy. So we're coasting downhill. It's on automatic cruise control, and we're doing 120 kilometers an hour GPS speed. So at 46% still of battery, and we start at 47%. And we're still not using any power, just coasting down the hill here. You see there's an emergency exit there for lorries. Don't know if you saw that. So we're still on adaptive cruise control, and it seems we're coasting down the hill. Yes, we're coasting down this hill. Still at 46%. So if we've only used 1% of the battery. Oh, we're actually recuperating energy now. Actually recuperating some energy. Not much, but a bit. It actually says here we're recuperating 12 kilowatt hours per 100 kilometers. We're actually using a bit of energy. Make sure I overtake these cars. We're still doing 120 kilometers real GPS speed, and we're still at 46% of the battery. We're actually using power because it's not going downhill so much now. We're still going downhill. There's another emergency exit there for lorries and stuff, so if they do run out of control, they can go up there and it will stop them. So this is a big incline. It's actually saying here the incline is 6%. So 6%, I hope we start recuperating energy. Yes, so yes. So yes, we're actually recuperating energy, and we're recuperating 10 kilowatt hours per 100 at the moment. So when we get to this bridge, I can see the bridge over there. We're just coming up to the bridge now. I'm going to stop the Garmin here. So we're still at 46%. We're going to stop it at this bridge, 46%. So we've used 1%. Still 46%. I'm going to stop the Garmin under this bridge. 46%. Still at 46%. We're going uphill here slightly. 46%. We've done around 11 kilometers, and we used 1% going downhill. But going 11 kilometers uphill, we've used actually 5% of the battery. So it makes a big difference going uphill or downhill. We have 149 kilometers on the GOM, and we've got 119 kilometers to go, so I don't actually have to stop here. It's just because I like to charge, and I want to test this charge. I've never tried it, and I'm a bit of a worrier. I don't want to arrive home with 5% of the battery or something like that. That's not for me. I want to arrive home with at least 20% of the battery. Since the start, we've done 20.6 kilowatt hours per 100 kilometers. We've done 169 kilometers. And since the last charge, we've actually done 20.6 kilowatt hours per 100 kilometers. That's actually gone down since the last charge. And since the last charge, we've actually done 98 kilometers. So you can see there the electric charging sign with the petrol station sign 2 kilometers away. This is actually a BP petrol station. So I've never charged the electric charger on BP. Oh, so this will be good. I don't see a charging point there. It doesn't tell you where the charging point is. Oh, I can see it over there. So it'd be nice if they'd put a nice sign for the charging point. It's quite a far away. It's like in the middle of nowhere, this charging point. But the other one at the other service station was closer. So I'm going to go up here. But again, look again. The charging point is at a funny angle. Why? Why? It means I have to reverse in here at this funny angle and I have to go against the flow of traffic. It's good if you have to drive in, but can't we just have charging points in Portugal where they're just flat? But there's no one charging here, so that's a good thing. I didn't expect there would be, actually. So we're at 42%. I'm going to start charging. If I can take my microphone out. Yes, microphone's out. So it's actually saying is there a problem here? It seems to keep changing the kilometers per hour. So it's saying we're going to be here for 30 minutes. So we start at 42%. We're going to charge up. I don't think you can see the ID light there going. I love the ID light, absolutely fabulous. There seems to be a problem. The charger seems to be stopping and starting. Now it's 0 kilometers a minute. There seems to be a problem with the charger here. Now it's gone back up to 5 kilometers a minute, 3 kilometers an hour. There's definitely something here wrong with the charger. Let me check. Wait a minute, it's saying it's charging. Let's just check here a minute. It's saying it's put in 139 kilowatt hours. Doesn't actually tell me what charging speed it's charging at, but it's gone up to 44% from 42%, so I guess it's working. Now this is a KLC charger, but it's one of these FSEC chargers, and normally these chargers work very well, so I guess it's working. This was just some teething problems there. The green light's on. The battery percentage is up to 45% now, near 4 minutes. So in 3 minutes it charged 3%. So that seems like it's working. Pass my Mio card. I love Mio. The app's amazing. Yes, you can watch this here. Just put in 2 kilowatt hours in 3 minutes. Is that good or bad? The battery percentage at 45%. Just going to check in the car again, because I've never had a problem like that on a 50 kilowatt charger. Yeah, it seems to be stable now. It was probably just some initial gremlin. So it's charging at 55. It's gone back down to 2. So it's at 5 kilometers an hour. It's gone to 0. Now it's gone to 2. But the battery percentage is increasing quickly. It says we've got 25 minutes left. So I don't know if there's something just strange here. That hasn't happened to me before. But it's definitely charging. I think we're charged to 60%. 60% should give me more than enough to get home. Something here is definitely playing around. That's saying 0 kilometers. Now it's saying 5 kilometers a meter. I've never seen this before on the ID.3. And I think it might be this charger, because I've never used this charger before. But currently, the percentage is definitely going up. It seems to be charging. Now it's saying 0 again. Is this a problem with the car? Is it a problem with the charger? Now it's gone back up to... It's bizarre. No, it's correct now, 5 kilometers a minute. But the charging speed is going up, 48%. Very bizarre, I've never seen this before. Now it's saying I'm doing 307 kilometers an hour charging speed. Let's see how much I've charged in 10 minutes, because I'm not sure this is working very well, this charger. So battery's at 51%, so I think we've gone from 42% to 51%, so the car is charging. So that's 5.51 for 10 minutes. So that's given us a charging speed of 33 kilowatts, which is not very good. But I actually think it's a charger, because I've never seen that before on the ID.3. Actually, what I'm going to do, I'm going to stop charging now, because this charger doesn't seem good. But I want to confirm if this issue is with this charger here or with the car. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to charge where we charged before. If there's a free spot, I'm going to test charge in there to make sure we don't get that issue there. And there we're going to see if the issue is with the car or if it's with the charger. So here I charged to 54%. Anyway, we did manage to add 12% of the battery in 10 minutes. So I guess that's not too bad. But I think we should have been getting faster charging speed than that. And I did put my head by the fan of the car at the front, and the fan was definitely working. So yeah, I don't know what the issue is there. I mean, the battery definitely should be warm enough by now. Anyway, the location is nice of this charging location because you've got a lot of green area. And if you want to do picnics and stuff, you've got the BP here. And you've got restaurants and stuff, even a hotel. So yeah, the charging location's good. But as everybody says, the ID.3 charges so well, it always charges. I'm thinking it's the charging point. Actually, I'd love your comments about these short road trips in the ID.3, if you like them or not. I definitely enjoy doing them. It gets me out of the house. I get to drive my car because at the moment we can't drive to the Algarve. We can't drive to places and stay in hotels. It'd be great if there wasn't this COVID situation at the moment. We could go to Porto, stay there for the weekend, go to Merida, stay there for the weekend. So we could have road trips like that, but that's just not possible at the moment. So let's look at stats. Currently, we've done 205 kilometres since my home. The average is 20.7 kilowatt hours. The GOM is saying 131 kilometres left, and we've got 82 kilometres to go. So I don't have to charge, but I'm going to charge. Currently, the state of the battery is 42%. Hopefully, the car's just going to charge this time without any issues. I definitely think it was the charger, not the car. And I hope it's the charger, not the car. Wishful thinking. I mean, as I started charging at 42%, and the battery must definitely be hot by now because we've done a lot of kilometres, it should have charged at 50 kilowatts. There's no reason why this car shouldn't have charged at 33 kilowatts. Now, if I was above 80%, then I understand why it would charge like less than 50 kilowatts. One of the reasons I like to charge early and to charge often is so I can keep at 120 kilometres an hour on the motorway. You know, if I was heading home with around 6 or 7%, I'd probably lower my speed, you know, just to make sure I get home. Charging early and charging often, you know, gives you the advantage. You can always keep to motorway speed. Only needed to charge once today. Charging twice was just so I could try that charger. Charging 3 times is unnecessary, but I really have to see if the problem is with the car or with the charger. So here, we're coming off here. So this is the other side of the road from the charger we were at this morning. There's no one charging there. Again, I have to do this funny reversing and it's at a funny angle. What a pain. So as you can see again, there's the ID light. Really love that. So as you see, we're at 39%. We're getting 5 kilometers per minute. And I'm just going to keep on that for a bit, for 1 or 2 minutes. It says we need 30 minutes to get to 80% from 39%. It's already gone up to 40%. Because before, this number here at the last charging station was changing from 5 to 0 to 3 to 4. And here it seems solid. I'm just going to be here a bit longer. I'm probably going to charge for 10 minutes. So I've been charging here now for 5 minutes and it's been a constant 5 kilometers per minute. So I guess that should be 50 kilowatt, but we're going to check. So it was definitely the other charger. It's not the car, thank God. It's not the car. So 10 minutes, that's 8.5. Let's do the maths. No, actually, this is 51 kilowatts. From my calculation here, we're getting 51 kilowatts. That's exactly what we should be getting on the ID.3 first. It was definitely the charge at the other place. So that's excellent. It says here 55%. I think I might just go up to 60%. Why not? So fabulous news. We're at 60%. Nothing wrong whatsoever in the ID.3 first. Just a small charger problem there. So fantastic. That's put my mind at rest anyway. So 216 kilometers since we started. 20.5 kilowatt hours per 100 kilometers. The GOM is saying 188 kilometers, and we've got 70 kilometers to go home. It's more than enough. I'll probably get home with well over 30%, I guess. Coming up to the toll again. See how much it is this time. Be €8, I guess. €8.15 again. So now I'm on my way home. I'm nearly there now. We're on the Vasco da Gama, which apparently is the second longest bridge in Europe. So once I get over the other side, back into southern Portugal, I'll be nearly home. We go back up to 120 now. So since the last charger, travelled 45 kilometres. And actually the consumption's been low, 17.9 kilowatt hours per 100 kilometres. And the battery currently is at 46%. Check since start. So since start, we've done 262 kilometres. And we've gone down to 19.9 kilowatt hours per 100 kilometers. This bridge is actually great because it's got 3 lanes and you can do 120 kilometers an hour along it. So what are my conclusions from this trip? Well, it's been a very interesting ride. That's the first faulty charger I've actually come across on the ID.3. It still charged 33 kilowatts, so it's better than it not charging. So basically we use 5% to get up the hill and 1% to come down the hill. Yeah, a really enjoyable ride, to be honest. It's been nice to go out to Fatima and come back, even though I haven't been able to stop. The car seems to be performing very well. Even the efficiency of this whole trip of 19.8 kilowatt hours per 100 is very good as well, I think. Not the 18.5 we got last week, but as I said again, we have managed to keep at 120 kilometer speeds because there hasn't been too much traffic. There's a little bit more now, but we're still keeping it 120 kilometer hour speeds. There's actually another 50 kilowatt charger here at the end of the bridge. So I've never charged there, but I don't think I'm going to do a fourth charging session today. Otherwise, people are going to really complain at me and complain about me in the comments just for charging too often. But no, you know, I was planning to charge 2 times, even though I didn't have to. I only had to charge once. But I wasn't planning to charge 3 times. But anyway, it was fun. Let's look at stats again. So we've done 272 kilometers, 19.8 kilowatt hours, and now we're at 43% of battery. And we're in southern Portugal again. Woohoo! Just look at these blue, clear skies in southern Portugal. And it's gone up to 22 degrees Celsius, the weather. The weather's always better in southern Portugal than northern Portugal. You just cross that bridge and the weather always changes. It's like the River Tejo doesn't let the bad weather come this side. It was 19 degrees in Lisbon, but here it's 22. Yeah, just to let you know, during the whole trip I only had the blowers on. I never had the heating on or air conditioning on, and it's always been in comfort mode. I've never put the car into eco mode. So I've been accelerating quickly and I've been keeping to speed. Just to give you almost the final stats, we've done 286 kilometers. Since the last charge, we've done 17.6 kilowatt hours per 100 kilometers and 70 kilometers. And since the start, we've done 19.7 kilowatt hours per 100 kilometers, and the battery is currently at 38%. So I've got back home, these are the stats. 287 kilometers, so almost the distance I do to the Algarve. I think it's about the same. 19.6 kilowatt hours per 100 kilometers, charging 37% of the battery left. So we used 102% of the battery to go to Fatima and to come back home. That was 287 kilometers. So for 100% of the battery, the range is 281 kilometers. Thank you for watching. I hope you've enjoyed it, and please don't forget to click subscribe.